Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Solution Seekers. I'm Kelly. How's everybody feeling this evening? Blessed and fruitful, I hope. We're finding ourselves in some very interesting times. These moments don't define us, but our actions do. They have to. I want to chime in on a few things tonight. Number one being the stimulus package. It's like a little update or whatever. It's like I love economics. I love history. I love just like a nerd basically. I like putting all these things together and what does it really mean because I guess as of last week, 41 million jobs have been lost. Congress wants to end the unemployment, the $600 a week supplemental from the states, and but where I don't know because I don't think that this economy can't just turn the key on and the economy's just going to start right back up. It was I think I was reading an article in an Economist a couple weeks ago saying at least 40% of these jobs, if not more, won't be coming back. And I think with the protests and some of the small property damage has been done, some people are probably going to leave the areas, getting out of there for whatever reason. People do why people do what they do, who knows? But it's heartbreaking because if one thing affects everybody, that's money. Yes, economics, and that's stability. That's how we live. That's how we pay our rent. That's how we thrive and live and thrive and take care of our loved ones and ourselves. Congress, well, the Senate right now is working on federal judges and the Great Outdoors Act, whatever that is. It must be something about national parks. They feel as though that's more important, and getting all these judges, and just in case Trump loses the election, I guess. Some Republican lost in Iowa this evening. I don't know its name. Let me see. There's the payroll tax is what that's been planned, and that's what the Trump administration likes. But the payroll tax doesn't give any direct money to anybody immediately, and it's chump change, and it really is, and it's more of trying to help the businesses out, but the businesses aren't the worst ones struggling. It's the people that are struggling. So, what do they do? You know, without, without, can I say this without sounding vicious? Because I really don't like politicians. I don't trust them. I never have. History of history of politics is something very interesting to me, and it's the same old things. Every time there's a bill, there's a whole lot of padding and earmarks and special money for all their friends and the people who put them in power. And there was a $3 trillion package that Nancy Pelosi presented, and most of it had nothing to do with direct financial support for the people. Now, some of the stuff that was in there, it sounded really realistic. But I think today, right now, it's that what can you do for the American people? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And you know what? Going back to these protests, and a lot of people are pissed off for a lot of different reasons, and you kind of wonder why things are turning out the way that they are. I know we don't. I don't think no place is perfect. The perfect place does not exist. Maybe in our own conceptions in our minds, but that's it. Or maybe in a movie or something, but once again, that's all fake. But I think that the more that you invest into the human spirit, which is the people, and that's where all our true power is, and that's where our true wealth is with the people. Doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter your political leanings. You don't have to like me. I don't. That's mandated. Everybody's not gonna like you. But at the end of the day, it has to be about the people. I can remove myself because, like I always say, it's not about me. It's about everybody else, and I'm always willing to step aside and let some. I want to see everybody else do better than myself. That's just how I am. I mean, when getting my life together and everything else, and how the trials and tribulations that I went through, it took me a very long time to actually wake up. It's not about having information; it's about applying it and actually living it. That's where change comes from. It's not about wanting to do it; it's about doing it and living it and embracing it, becoming one with it. You know, be, our country is coming to a point to where some growing pains to where we're changing, and there has to be a certain level of commitment and sacrifices that are in there. Like tonight, we had our our curfew in LA was 5 o'clock, so I get home about 5:30. Ran a couple of errands, and I watched on TV, and people are protesting, and they're at the governor's house, and I mean, excuse me, the mayor's mansion in Hancock Park, and there's just like close to 800 people there, and the cops had them all surrounded, and people were just like yelling, "Lock them all up! Lock them all up! Lock them all up!" What are they doing out there? COVID this, COVID that, just the typical. Why are you people there? You should be home. You should, for whatever reason, these people have seen something. They feel so committed to something. They're willing to sacrifice their health and their freedom for it. You know what? At the end of the day, that's what life's about, is what the sacrifice and commitment to something. Stand up for your beliefs. Don't talk about it. Be about it. And show that in your actions. Because I've always been one that you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, it's never what you say that ultimately matters. It's about what you do. I found myself committed to humanity. This is a far cry from from the person I used to be, because I could really care less about anybody. It was all about me and Kelly's human condition, and Kelly's human condition was predicated on desperation. Mind altering substances, alcohol, whatever. If it was dysfunctional, that was me, dysfunctional Kelly. Oh, I love the hashtag. No, but in all seriousness, we reached a point to where I don't think there's no going back. You know, um, States are thinking about opening up more, like where I work at Caltech University, and they have a plan about getting back on. And do I really want to wear a mask all day? Because there's some medical issues that are predicated on coming up with breathing in too much CO2. You know, it's confusing. Damn if you don't, damn if you do. You know, um, I don't know. We just live in some interesting times, but you know what? We have to keep hope alive. And if you know anybody that's struggling, man, just reaching out to them. Like one of my most favorite people in the world who has a surgery coming up. So I asked her today. I said, "Well, what do you need what do you need for me to do? Because I guess her family's going to take care of most of the stuff. What do you need me to do?" She just said, "Just mental support." And I said, "Well, shit, I've been doing that all along anyway. I can do that. This is what I do. This is not what I wanted to do. I just found myself in a situation that this is what I'm doing now, and I'm trying to just kind of running with it. I'm finding out a lot of joy in it. I'm finding out like expressing hope to other people gives me some hope, because there's times when I'm doubtful. There's times when I feel uncertain, especially now with everything going on, and you know, um, man, I'm reminded back because early on after 2012, 2013, when I was first newly sober, I started listening to a lot of Les Brown, a lot of Eric Thomas, Zig Ziglar. And the constant theme that all those guys had was, man, that commitment to what you say you're going to do, and how bad do you want something, or what are you willing to put on the table. You know, if you take the average American person, the average family, let's say it's a husband and wife and a kid and two kids. The kids go to school, both husbands and husband and wife work. With the prices of homes, the prices of goods and products and services is so astronomical these days that they probably not raising their families in the best way that they really what they perceived, because they're overburdened with life's burdens. And but yet most people are still committed to it. Most people, not everybody, but most people are. And I have a friend of mine I have several friends of mine who are school teachers, and they're saying, well, these kids. So I said, well, how about this? Maybe the people are just so overburdened with work and life that they have time but it's trying to manage all the time. That's the hard part. To try to raise their kids in a way that they really would perceive themselves doing it when they first had the kids. And I don't have any kids, so I'm just speaking from a novice point of view, just from an observation. And but they're still committed to doing it. And you know what? It's preferable to be somewhat committed rather than not being committed at all. I found out for myself that the longer I stay committed into the things that I'm doing, the more hope that I can get. And in these uncertain times that we're living in, man, at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. And I just, it's about surviving. We have civil unrest. It's been thought about a race war, but that's, I mean, we've been fighting in this country for decades. But I think we're under a microscope now. As I said last night in my previous video, this country is now up under a microscope because now these hurdles, these obstacles, are on the world stage. I was reminded of a comment Martin Luther King said back in the '60s when he was talking about people rioting, and the rioting at the I can't remember off the top of my head exactly, but said people riot because they feel like their voices have not been heard. The voices of the unheard, so the frustration level goes up. And I've been there. I know what it's like to be unheard. Sometimes I feel like it's the book by Ralph Ellison called The Invisible Man. I'm never seen anywhere. I would be seen when I was coming to commit an act of violence or committing a crime. Then I would be known. But prior to that, I was just an invisible man. I still feel that way to a greater or lesser degree. But you know what? Today it's not about anybody else. It's just about me and how I feel about myself. Because at the end of the day, I have to wake up with myself, and I have to go to bed with myself. And when I go to bed at night, the only thing I have when I go to bed is my perspective and that which I believe in. That's it. I mean, when I wake up in the morning, I wake up with just so much gratitude that I have the ability to wake up in the morning. Because a lot of people don't get that opportunity. Most of my peers that I grew up with don't, because they're either doing life in prison or they're dead. As a result of the lifestyle in which they lived, or the area in which they lived in. So I'm fortunate. Then I wake up, the water works, I have Wi-Fi, go make me some coffee, and say, man, it's going to be a great day. The only person who can actually screw my day up is me. Because it's never what happens. It's never what happens that ultimately is the main concern. It's about how I respond to it emotionally. And I always say this, and I always have to remind myself of this. And that, life is too short to be miserable. Life is too short to be filling my time up with garbage. Life is too short just to be living less than my expectations. Life is just, life is life, and you know what? I just try to do my best to do more good than bad. I'm not perfect by no means, although some people think that I am, but I'm not. Trust me on that one. I fall short every day. But where I fall short on one day, the next day I'm going to pick it up. Because I'm committed to this thing called life. I'm committed to you people out there. I'm committed to everybody. You may want, and my job at working at Caltech and being an Uber driver for the last 3 years, which is the reason why I'm on YouTube now. And it's not because of me. It's because people said that I have something to say, or a different perspective. And it's been a good experience. But I kind of miss talking to the people. I kind of miss the students. I really miss the students, but I also like talking to all the people that I get to. And LA is such a diverse city, to where I got people from all walks of life. But you know what? At the end of the day, I can always find some type of common ground to have a conversation with somebody. And sometimes it's even limited because they only speak English. But by the end of the trip, we're just having a good old time. Quite a few of my people on Instagram are my old pals. We talk to them more than I talk to the people I know. But that's just how life goes. So dealing with uncertainty, just dealing with life sometimes it's really tough. But you know what? You have something great within you, and all this, everything that you need is within you. But it just takes some time to find it. Trust me, even for me, I feel like it's always running around. Just when I almost got it, it just starts running. It just starts running. It just starts running away. But the thing about it is just don't give up because the floor is no place for a champion. So if you do find yourself falling on the floor, just make sure that you look up as you're falling over so you can see what your target is when you slowly get back up. And then sometimes you might have to help somebody might have to give you a hand up. I'd rather have a hand up than a hand out. That's just that old saying. Well, if you got anything out of this, please please smash the like button, like everybody else says, and please subscribe. And until next time, everybody stay safe, and hopefully we'll be getting our stimulus money so we can start trying to get this economy back to where it was. All right, have a blessed day.